my stitchy friends, welcome back. My name is Laura. You found Lala Do Stitches. Let me turn the fan down. We've learned that lesson. Thank you for being here with me today. We're on the dregs of energy. That's okay. We're caffeinating. It's hotter than Mordor over here. I mean, whoever opened the Ark of the Covenant, could you please close it again? Because everything's on fire. It's over 100 degrees like every day. And August has just started. I will poof away in a cloud of dust. It's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay. It is what it is. Why is this here? There we go. That's better. Yeah, bit of a chaos monster these days. We're in full survival mode. Little baby boy arrived, healthy. Everything went well. His big sister was a preemie, and it was a bit of a traumatic entry to the world for both her and her mother. And so everybody was kind of waiting with bated breath to see what would happen with baby boy. But he is big and chunky and precious and very healthy, and my sister is doing great. It's been 2 weeks. She's already up and doing, which is crazy to me considering she had a C-section, and like the trauma a woman's body goes through with a C-section. Woof. So she's amazing. She's amazing. I'm so proud of her. And I love holding my little nephew. His name is Killian. And yes, so we are in a happy, tired delirium. Not quite as tired as his parents, but there's still a level of tired. My mom will be here for 1 more week, and my dad he has found a way to be able to come for the last couple days of next week, so he'll get to meet his grandson too, which will be really wonderful. So it's a really full house with extra people and extra dogs, and this auntie is tired. That's okay. We've got 1 more busy week, and then we can crash for a couple of days and then ramp everything up again, because then we've got a trip in August. So, life is busy. Life is good. All right, let's just dive into the stitching, because I've got to do this before my company gets up. So if I talk quickly, I'm sorry. Part of that is the caffeine. Oh, you gotta see Sasquatch. My buddy, my cryptid friend. Blah blah. All is well. Okay. I have been able to squeeze in some late night stitching, so I feel really good about the progress I've made over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, this will be fun. So the first thing I'll show you is my Christmas in July. I actually wound up pulling out an additional project, which was unplanned but fun. I was just feeling it. So I gave a good day to Christmas Bell Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. And I love it. It's so beautiful. Every time I pull it out, which is not as often as I perhaps should, but should is all relative. Sorry, I'm looking for something to hold this up against, because I still do not have a board. How many times will this work? Perhaps. When in doubt, use a quilt book. This is a really good quilt book, by the way. It's pretty. What was I saying? I don't know. Here's where I am. What did I do? I added some bells. I added the second line of stitching on the words, and I think I added some bright green to the ends of some of the branches. It didn't have that. I was shooting for completing the top half. That didn't happen. But I got some really good stitches. Everything's in the right spot, which is a relief. At one point, we had a little group blah blah with this corner. We have more group blah blahs to share today. It's an unfortunate circumstance of exhaustion. It's okay. We'll stitch through those. It'll be fine. Anyways, she's beautiful. I'm stitching with the called for silks 2/2 on, I believe it's 28 count sand linen from Pictureless Plus. It's so pretty. Alright, we're just gonna lay these here perhaps. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. They might slip and slide off eventually. Okay, so my second Christmas piece was mind blank. I don't have any notes. We just pressed and went. I made a stack of pretties, and here we go. I believe Gift of Peace by Lavender and Lace. That is right. That is correct. He's gorgeous. I love him. He's probably one of my favorite Christmas projects I have going right now. And I have, you know, a plethora. Because who doesn't like stitching Christmas? I mean, I'm sure some people don't like stitching Christmas. I like stitching Christmas. Here's where he is. I did it! It took me 3 days. But look how beautiful his cuff is. Yay. So the next thing I'll do is build up the greenery around here. And then we'll finish with the basket. And I think there's a little bit more ribbon that falls down, but we'll get to that. Do the greenery first. So I think that'll be the most intense stitching. It's a lot of, you know, confetti, but what gorgeous results. This is on 32 count driftwood from Fabrics by Steph. It's spectacular, and it has this gorgeous hint of green dyed into it, and I'm hoping that it doesn't all get covered up with the next branch because I love it. It's so subtle, but it's there, and it just adds another layer of magic to the stitch. Anyways, he's so gentle. What a dapper gent. I love him. Oh, yeah, so this next branch, which is big, I think if I could get that done this year, that would be goals. And then next year we'll just wrap him up, and we'll have to get some gold next year. But I don't know, who knows? Maybe I'll get obsessed and we'll finish it this year. Stranger things have happened. Zip. Okay, I tried to put a thread every day into Comfort Lighthouse by Carriage House Samplings, which was a stitch along in an age past. That all my compatriots have finished, and you know, it's okay. It's not a bad thing to be bringing up the rear. Anyways, so I didn't actually get in a thread a day, but I did get in several threads on several days, and I've added the torso of the mermaid, half of her hair, and the water. This is stitched with 1 strand over 2 threads on 36 count linen. Colors Dune from Fiber on a Whim. It's a super crookedy dookedy piece, but that's fine. It's gonna be great. Oh, I'm also doing my own floss conversion. It was called for MPIs, I believe. I think it had a DMC conversion. I'm fairly confident of that, actually. And I just further complicated it by switching to overdyes. I love it. It is looking good. And that white shows really well. It looks a little airy when I'm looking at it with my eyeballs. But every time I show it in camera, it's like Yeah, that reads white, so it's good. I'm a gray white. She's got funky arms. She's like floating. Okay. Another thing I was supposed to do a motif a week on, and I did one for the 2 weeks, is All Things Wise and Wonderful, heartstring samplery again. Apparently I'm on a heartstring samplery kick this year. I feel like every rotation I pick, I have at least one heartstring in, and who can blame me? They're gorgeous. But this one's a big one. We'll be working on it till I'm 60. Hopefully not, but you know, who knows? Yeah, it's gorgeous though. I love it. I'm working on 28 count seraphim linen. The color is Boston. 2/2. And I came to a pause. It's gonna be fine. So here's my sad story. Here's where I am. It's actually showing pretty well for a green. I added most of the lemur, who is so cute. Isn't he cute? Well, he has no face yet, but you know. And then I realized once I got up towards here and I could see the stitches closer together that I am one fabric thread off. So somewhere when I was counting over to one of my motifs, I'm fairly confident it's at the pair. I counted, instead of counting 4 threads, so if I had to go 2 spaces, 4 threads, I counted 5. So these guys are off. We're not pulling them out. Nobody's gonna know. It's gonna be fine. Unless you were like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, no. It's not, nobody's gonna notice. It's gonna be fine. I just have to remember to not count off of them. Or everything will then be off by 1 thread. So we're gonna have to change our plan. Either count off the border or come down and count off of the tiger and go some direction or something. So I was gonna try to work across the top. Sorry, I'm kind of holding this at a funky angle, but you know, it is what it is. And try to get to those cattails and dragonflies at the center. I don't know, that was just kind of the direction I was going. But, and I will still, but with some detours, apparently, since I can't count. Whatever, he's cute. They're all cute. Okay, so that's Wise and Wonderful. Oh, it's so big. Beauty. Okay, my last screw blah blah. Apparently I clumped them all together. Cute. I really wanted to work on Vanity Sampler, which I'm stitching with the gorgeous silks. I was gifted the silks for this. And I have plans to change the phrase in here. I have a quote from John Muir on a sticky note here. But first, 36 count is hard when you're tired, for me. For me. Those who stitch really tiny counts are probably like, 36 is a breeze. And true. Compared to 56, 36 is great. But for my pea brain, mostly my migraine-y brain, the more tired I get, the more prone I am to having kind of a cascade event and and migraining, which is a bummer. Here's what I am. You'll see hanging strings here, hanging threads. That is because they have to come out. That is a reminder that, girl, your beautiful little flower, I reversed the 2 symbols. It's a sad thing. So the center of the flower is supposed to be white with brown accents, kind of caramel accents going around the edge, which will show lovely. But I didn't realize that until I went to start on the next flower. And I was like, wait a second. Let's look at this picture here, folks. Kermanus. Why are those flowers white? So then I went and double checked, and sure enough, I'm an idiot. Whatever. It's all good. I'll pull it out. Weep softly as I do it. And then I'll put it back in and it'll be fine. But it totally killed my mojo that day. So I was already fighting the 1/2 136, and then I flubbed. So, you know, it's fine. I'll pull it back out. I would like to. I really feel okay. Here's the theme. Here's the feelings story. First of all, this is on 36 count Regency. Yes, Regency. I picture this plus. With NPI silks. Spectacular-ish. Right now it's bones. I would like to get past the bones point, at least for a minute. So maybe what I need to do is come in and add that big pine tree or something, which sits in the corner. And maybe I need a bird so that it sparkles a little bit right now. Because right now it's like, oh, bones with a mistake-o. So, yes. Though, that being said, I am actually enjoying stitching borders right now. So, who knows what will happen. But, I will pull this out again sometime in August. Because I love it. It's gorgeous. No shade on the project, just my brain. Did I use that term right? I don't know. I'm old. Than children with new languages. How do words not mean what the dictionary says they mean anymore? I don't know. It's fine. I pulled this out briefly. So here's the deal. My mom is actively working on the center of this every day. She's nearly done filling in the water, and she'll be done with the center, which is spectacular. But I have this weird thing where I don't like to work on the same thing as the person sitting in the room with me. It's a me problem. But anyways, I did have a goal to finish this border out. Summer Quaker, Leela Studio. We're slow poking our way through it. And she's gorgeous. So I ran out of, well, I didn't run out of anything. I did not have, when I pulled this out, my lightest blue. This is not going to work. No book. We're just going to hold it up. It's going to be fine. This is thick enough linen. You can see it. So here she is. The border is done, but for a few light blue stripes in our little stripy fish up there. But everything else is good. Top border complete. Check mark. Winner. I don't know what I'm doing. My brain. I'm gonna hide behind the project now. Here, just look at cross stitch. What kind of weird tired high am I on right now? So logically, it would make sense to start working on the middle, right? Because that's a lot of stitching in there. That's the meat of the stitching on this piece. As big as the Quakers are, the bottom half of the center is truly full coverage. So, you know, thousands of stitches there. But also part of me really wants to go down into this border a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep this out through August, give it another day or two of stitching, and just see where the mood takes me. But I probably won't work it on it till my mom leaves because I'm weird. Or cool. I'm cool. That's what I am. I have shifted 2 colors. Everything else is the called for DMCs. But the blue that goes through here, you know, whatever this symbol is, you can see it in a couple spots now, is navy from Weeks Dye Works, and my red that's in the Lighthouse and will be this crustacean that's up here, I think, that is Turkish red, which is a gorgeous red. Ooh. Lovely. Ow. Anyways, hey, I did it. I did it. You said that you could do it, and indeed you did. Okay. I gave a few days to Split Rock Lighthouse by Mirabilia. Stitching this with the kit supplies called for, everything provided, Ada, floss. I am working on the cliff, and you know, it's slow going, but we're starting to see some more dimension slowly. So I've started filling in kind of the rustier tones in here and then building down. This is the water's edge at that stitch down there. This does not go fast. It's very satisfying. I really, really enjoy it. But it's not fast. That's okay. It doesn't have to be fast. We're not in a race here. Gorgeous. I mean, brown blob, but you know, you can sort of start to see the picture-ish. More than you could last time. Oh, my energy's too high and warm. Either that or it's the face melting heat rising. Okay. Okay, random poll. I'll have to put in before pictures because I do have them. I'll edit them in throughout. But I just randomly wanted to stitch on this ancient whip. Garden Party warm colorway. There's a blue-green range and the red-purpley range. Satsuma Street. This is old. It's so cute though. And there's a good chance I'll keep this out and try to shoot for a finish because not only did I make really good progress, I did have to go out and find a couple of colors of DMC, but we're back in the game. Back in the game. I did find them. So here's where I am. Ah, it's so cute. Isn't it cute? Oh my goodness. There is a counting flub in there. We're ignoring it. So, I'm kind of doing color completing on it at this point because it's really the only way after a certain stage that you can make sure you've not missed anything, or at least my brain can make sure. This is just a random Joann's cream even weave. I don't know. I'm sure it's like a 28 count-ish. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. 2/2. Called for colors. You'll see a couple spacey parts here on the sunshine. I had read, I think it was in Jody's blog years ago. She talked about how she'll do half of all the colors, half of this, how do I say this? She'll do one direction of your stitch for all the for the whole piece. So it's like this, you know, the pattern is now established here, and then she doesn't have to refer to the pattern, and she'll just go back over everything else, you know, and just pull the right colors, which is a really fun plan. And I tried that with the sunshine, and I quickly realized, for me, my brain interprets that as stitching everything twice because I'm coming back to it again, and that just didn't work for me. So as fun as it sounded, it was not a good plan. So I still have a couple spots where I need to complete the X's, but we'll get there. Oh my goodness. The holes in the border would have been done, but that's one of the colors I was missing that I have now acquired. It's so happy. It's such fun stitching. This piece is so fun. It's so fun, in fact, that I am considering finishing this as a wall hanging and giving it to my niece, because it's more likely that I'll finish this than the fairy right now, because I'm just feeling this. I don't know. And then maybe potentially at some point down the road restitching it on a larger count to make like a cushion. See, in the picture it's displayed as a cushion. That, I mean, look at the size of that compared to, what is that, an 18-inch pillow there sitting on the couch. Like, this is smaller for sure, even with a little bit of a border there. But I love that idea. I think that's super duper cute. So perhaps I try to acquire some larger count even weave or something, and we stitch this guy again and make a cushion, because that'd be super fun. Anyways, these were my thoughts as I was stitching. Like I'm in the last 10 stitches. My brain is always 500 steps ahead of the reality. All right. Oh, this was a sad story that is no longer a sad story. Cicada song sampler. I got it in my head when I pulled it out. I don't know what my brain was looking for there, ruffling through the files. Sorry, I'm back. What? Where am I? Oh, I got it in my head to finish the border. And then I was nearly met up, and it wasn't going to meet up. And I had missed 2 stitches in the side and had to pull out a quarter of the border, which is sad because you can see I'm adding all these spiny bits. And it was definitely this corner. So I was trying to meet up here. I was 2 stitches off, up or down, I don't remember which. I think it doesn't matter. So I had to pull back out up to, I think it was this little moment. I had I'd missed 2 stitches, so it must have been up. Anyways, we wept softly as we pulled it out. And then we stitched it back in. This is on linen. Whatever. A count, I think 32 or 28 of Vintage Country Mocha, which is the called for color. But I know mine is a different size. Just count for Cole which size. Anyways, isn't she beautiful? I think I did, while I was bemoaning my little corner flub here, group blah blah, I added in some more roof to try to soothe my brain. And then I got back to it. And it's done! And if there's anything wrong, we don't care, because everything's connected and we're not going to think about it. Yay. Now I get to add in all the pretty colors and the little critters, and it's gonna be so fun. Keep working on that mill. Okay, another I had some random pulls, things not slotted that took the place of other things, apparently. I just randomly wanted to work on Petal Fairy by Mirabilia. She's an old whip for me. I've not been in a super fancy lady mood the past couple years. Last year and this year, specifically. But she was the colors I wanted to stitch. So I worked on, pretty much filled in all of the brighter gold through here. I'm pretty sure I did all of that, you know, all of that. So I'm working on her petals. I don't know what this is, this linen. I'm fairly sure it's an old Weeks, but I have no information. It started this before I tracked those things. And the linen's not showing up as warm as it is. But you get the idea. It's this warm, peachy, trying to get it far enough away. Sometimes if you back up from the camera, it does show better. Anyways, the colors are juicy. And I'll probably give her another day in August, a day or two. Because I want to get up into the fun bits. Like the yellow is gorgeous, but when you get into the, you know, fuchsias and purples and raspberry colors, and then getting that green for the stem in, I think adding more than yellow will be really exciting. But we have to slog through the yellow first, because that's the meat of the stitch. Okay, Sprouting Lupin has a new stitch along that started yesterday. It goes through January, the end of January. So however long that is, 7 months, 6 months, 7 months, something like that. But I felt it was, if I were to start that, which I did, that I should put in some work on Nature's Journey first, which I am trying to finish this year. I was originally trying to finish it by the start of summer. Here we are. It's fine. So this is what it looks like. There's a 4-part series. It is currently available through her Etsy shop, I think, and then I think she's releasing printed patterns in Market this month in August. So it is out in the world, but you can get it immediately if you want it, a digital copy through her Etsy, which is how my mom started it. I harangued her into starting it this last week, and we went and found fabric, and it's gonna be pretty. Okay, here is where I am. 32 count linen, 2/2, called for DMCs. The linen is dyed by me that I can't seem to replicate to save my skin. But if I ever do, I'm writing it down because I love how it turned out. Yeah, good progress, right? I feel like pretty much this bottom corner filled in our caterpillar. He's just missing his fuzzies. We gave some bones to our beetle. Worked on that, I definitely remember that. So it's really the big leaves, which are the drama point of autumn. And the center flower here, which is a tulip in reds, I think. I think it's in these tones. So it looks like this, but it's in the reds. And then we move into the winter section, which is softly started. These little guys are technically in the winter section, but oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh, I also finished the moth, except for his antennae. I had to get more 3371. It takes a lot of that. So some back stitches still. Grasshopper doesn't have any antennae either. But we'll get there. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it so much. Oh, it's so good. I'm just going to have a little nature moment on my walls. I'm going to have a little gallery of nature-themed stitches. Makes me happy. Okay. Someday. I'm going to get them done. So that's Nature's Journey. Okay, keep plugging away. I'm going to be good and keep making progress, but this is the start of Evergreen, which is her new stitch along, and it's she's described it as a pinned bug exhibit kind of thing. So there's frames. I think there's gonna be some kind of, you know, like glass jar moment or something, just from the hints she's shown. But here's my start, which is good. All I have left is the beetle. There's this big glorious beetle that sits in there, and it's all in these juicy rich greens. Well, this beetle isn't, but the main colors are. This is being stitched on 32 count shale by Picture This Plus. I wanted it to be different from Nature's Journey, but in keeping, so that they'll hang well together, right? Oh no. Where's Jessica? Okay. Anyways, look at the little fly up there. He's so cute. So that was yesterday's stitching. And that was a lot. I had a little bit more time yesterday. So we ran errands, had to go to Costco, do all the things, drop off things. But then I got some good time to stitch. There's beautiful dimension in that frame. It's like 3 or 4 different browns. And do we expect anything less? She knows her colors. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I love it. And you can do it on just over a fat 1/8. So this is 32 count. And I bought a fat quarter, but then I cut it just over in half to give myself a 2-inch margin. So it's not going to be giant. It'll be smaller than Nature's Journey. I'm so excited to see other things, because I know that there was, on one of her hints, there's like a little ladybug crawling down the outside of a jar. I'm so excited. It's going to be so cute. All right. Yes. Okay. Owl Forest embroidery. I am still slowly plugging along. I thought I would get farther, but you know, time. I'm feeling really good about what I did, so we're not gonna worry about it. I am doing a conversion of my own. And the goal was to stick primarily with my cottage garden threads, but it's definitely expanded into some others to get the right colors. I'm basing my floss pulls off of photographs of the real owls. And here is where I am. So I've finished the next section. And I did wind up, you might notice, I pulled out, so this last leaf was the same color as the base of the acorns. Is that the base or the acorns themselves? Acorns. And I wasn't loving it, so I wound up pulling that out and shifting it. By the time I started stitching this one, I knew that I wasn't quite happy with it, so I shifted it so it wouldn't read as the same color as the acorn, and I'm really glad I did, because I feel like that was a shift worth making. Isn't he a sassy little gremlin down here? Look at him. His little hunched over back. And him with his legs poking out. He's so cute. Cute, cute, cute. So, the next section is our big gray owl here. And then I think I do the owls next to him at some point. I was hoping we would get to those border pieces, and I could skip ahead and do them, but because there's no rules. But I haven't picked floss for them, and I have picked floss for the owls. So we'll just jump into the big drama moment there. That big gray owl, and yeah. It'll be grand. making some serious headway on this project this year. Did I tell you what I'm stitching it on? No. Do we remember? No. Crud. I want to say it's 28 count Valor with Pictureless Plus. That's a guess. See my previous videos. That sounds right. Anyways, it's gorgeous. It's this beautiful green, gray, brown backdrop of forest. Okay, so that's everything I did. Now I just have a few things pulled because I'm ready to shift my rotation. I never got as into the sci-fi as I thought I would this year. I really wanted to, but every time I pulled it out, it just wasn't calling to me. So that's okay. Who knows? Maybe it'll call to me in December, January. I don't know. That's okay. I love all those projects, but they just weren't what my brain needed, I guess. So I am definitely, oh my gosh, the way I want to stitch fall. Something terrible. I feel like it's all the weather's fault. Mother Earth is angry and she's trying to cook us like eggs on the pavement. And because of that, it has felt like August for a solid 6 weeks. And now my body thinks naturally, oh, we've done the hot. It is now time for the cool to come. But no, we have 6 more weeks of torture. Because we can't say winter. It's not winter here. 6 more weeks before we can hope for any kind of cool off, I think. And that is probably even optimistic. I swear it was middle of October before it finally, like, the switch flipped last year. I hope we don't have to wait that long. I hope autumn comes with the date. At the, you know, that would be nice. September 21st. Bring me sweater weather. We'll see. Anyways, so I'm jonesing for it. I'm longing for it. So I'm going to shift the palette of my projects to fit kind of those vibes without necessarily diving into autumn stitching yet, because come September I will do a full dive into autumn stitching, and maybe even trickle in a few Halloween stitches as well. We'll just see. Okay, I am going to stitch one autumn project though. I had been watching Andrew the Runner Stitcher, and he also was talking about how he was kind of longing for autumn stitching. And I was like, maybe we give ourselves a soft autumn and we stitch one autumn project in August. Picking up what I'm throwing down? And he was like, yes I am. So, I mean, it's not like an official sal or anything. That was the extent of the conversation. But I'm going to pull out an autumn project. It's going to be fun. This is not it. This is Charlotte Griffith's, which I started as a birthday start. Not recently. 2 years ago. I started it 2 years ago. On this spectacular, like, I need to order more of this 32 count mocha linen from Bestitch Me. It is so pretty. I'm pretty sure I got it while I was part of her Fabric of the Month club. But I need to order more of this because it's gorgeous. I would stitch more things on this. So here's where I am, where I'm picking it up. Maybe we find bones. Maybe we build out the border. Because really the center is, there's a lot of negative space in there, and the border, I feel like, is probably the legwork of the project. Anyways, it's so pretty. I can't wait to get those little birds. And this rose stitched up is gorgeous. So yes, very excited. The color palette of this is just juicy. Let's get some more of that in there. It's fairly monochromatic. I mean, not entirely, but fairly at this point. Anyways, gorgeous. I'm excited to work on that again. And I have been feeling samplery this year, so, you know, I'm just gonna ride that wave. Here's my autumn piece. And I mean, it's like barely autumn. It's autumn because there's pumpkins on it. It is called Fall on the Farm. It's by Little House Needleworks. But the last few blocks, with the exception of maybe one of them, they don't feel as autumnal as the already stitched blocks, which is okay. So I ran out of bamboo and we have a ghost of a house. I now have more bamboo, so I can fill in the house. I'm stitching this on, oh crud, I'm so unprepared. It's like flax or raw or portobello. It's portobello. Portobello. Maybe? Is this the one? Portobello Road. Oh, now I want to watch Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Anyways, if I could like focus my brain for 2 seconds this morning. Here's where I am. I finished out the boxes last year, and I think I added these little boobobs in there. So here are the last 3 blocks. This is the one that's begun. The well with a few critters. Then we have the barn in the middle, which will be fun, and it definitely has the cutest little pigs in the land. And then we'll end with the pumpkins, which will feel the most autumnal, the pumpkin farm, pumpkin patch. And I might have to darken the dude's hair so that it looks like my hubby and I are going to the pumpkin patch. That could be cute. I love the little crow. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is such a cute project. It's so much fun. Those chickens, they are the cutest. Oh, I love it. This will be fun. See? This will be good. This will be good. It'll itch a scratch. And then in September, I can just dive in. All the fun projects. These are fun projects. All of my projects are fun projects. I don't know what I'm rattling on about. I'm also going to pull out County Fair, which I've, for the last year or two, I think I've been working on it for 2 years. I have slotted this as an autumnal stitch. It's from Lavender and Lace. I think it's still available out there. I mean, I bought it just a couple of years ago. Stitching on Vintage Country Mocha. Oh gosh, she's beautiful. The colors in her shawl, you can't even see in the picture. This is spectacular plaid. It's almost Christmassy. But it's called County Fair, and those start happening in August, September, so I've decided I'm going to pull her out because now I also have Lady of the Thread, which is very autumnal. Her palette is, you know, olive greens and rusts and plums and stuff like that. So I guess County Fair has been demoted from fall status into late summer status with her bounty on the table and her beautiful blue dress with the immense white apron, which is what I was working on last time. Maybe we should give her a head. That might be good. She's a little headless horseman over here. Oh, you know, the pictures just never do them justice. The details in her sleeve, even the gradation in the tablecloth, like that is so effective. The shadow of her arm. I love these projects. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna work on that for sure. And this was a New Year, New Start Reolist kit. It's stitched with the wool acrylics, and it's just the piddliest start. I started on her fan. I don't even remember which way it goes. We don't know. It's not even exciting to look at because it's these boring neutrals. But I want to know which way it goes. I'll figure it out. Anyways, she's spectacular though. She's just spectacular. So I think what I'm going to do with her is I'm going to put her in a hoop, which is very unlike me. I stitch in hand, no hoops, just fabric and floss and needles. Fingers all over the place. But I'm going to put her in a hoop and put her on my Lowry stand, which I also have not used enough. I was given it. It was gifted to me by my mother for my birthday last year, the year before. And I have not found the right chair, or the right position. My back winds up screaming 10 minutes into it. It's not so much learning how to do the like handoff between the needle. I think that will pick up pretty naturally, but I'm early enough in this, I don't think it's going to be affected by putting it in a hoop, and that might be a good way to just have it on the stand, sit down. I don't know. Maybe this is a bad plan. Maybe I just need to go for it. But anyways, she's gorgeous. I love her. Yeah, really, really beautiful. Colors are gorgeous. Don't use this as your determination on how pretty she is. Alright, so getting some more stitch into that, however that happens, will be good. And last but not least that I've pulled, who knows what I'll actually stitch on, but these are the pulls. Last year I started Waisaki's Orchard, and it is definitely, we are definitely softly stepping into the beginnings of apple season. You know, I feel it's like an August-September thing, but probably depends on where you live. It was definitely like a September-October thing where I grew up because they just didn't get as hot as this. I swapped out the kit Ada for this antique lamb's wool. It's the same count. And that's the start I got last year. I'm using the kitted floss. So they're bright and bold and primary. But look at the beautiful textures in the hills, the checkerboards and the stripes, and it's just interesting, fun stitching. This one's half stitches, so you actually get almost a wheat effect, which is gorgeous. Oh, so I grew up in Spokane, Washington, and to the south of the city, there's this region called the Palouse Highway. It's hills, soft rolling hills. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. And in August, I'm sure I've talked about this before, but in August, all of the wheat fields turn, and there is something, we used to, so never had air conditioning until 2 years ago in my life. And so, you know, August would get hot there, and we would have to try to escape our very hot house after dinners in the summers. And we did that by storm chasing, driving out in the valleys, driving out in the hills, and looking for deer if there was no storm, or storm chasing if there was one, and seeking those pockets of cool air, riding with the windows down. Oh my gosh, summer magic. What happy memories. But one of the strongest parts of that is, because as a kid, you know, my parents are in the car and they're chatting and blah, 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 and we'd bring books and then never read them because I would just wind up sitting in the car with the window down. It didn't matter after the sun had gone down and it got like cold. I would bring a sweatshirt and I'd put it just like my arms through the holes and have it like bunched up around here, and I would just sit with my head like hanging out the window, and I'd watch the wind in the wheat as we'd drive by, and oh, it was so peaceful. It was so peaceful and beautiful. Oh, I was so lucky to grow up in a beautiful place. Anyways, memories. Isn't summer magical as a child? I feel like as an adult, I am chasing the feeling of those memories in how I construct my summers. And they are often busy and chaotic. But you know, every once in a while, I find it. And that's magic. That's like real magic. I hope your summer is having some real magic. I hope you're not melting away. I hope you're not, to everyone near or being affected by the smoke from the fires. Fortunately for Utah, we still have fires going, but the smoke has shifted for us, and it's been lovely for the last week. But I know that there are people being terribly affected by it, and my heart goes out to you, and I'm sending you all the rain clouds I can muster. I'm dancing under the moon and everything, because we've had to evacuate for fires within half a mile of our house, and it's terrifying. It is, and the absolute apocalyptic feeling of the darkness that comes with smoke. I just, my thoughts are with you. I hope everything is okay, and you get all the firefighters and all the heroes out there making it possible to contain them. And yeah, anyways, yeah. In the meantime, I hope you can find peace and stitch when you can, and still find a few magic moments of the summer. So, take care of yourselves. I'll be back in, let's see, we go to Denver for our annual work trip the 3rd week of August. So I'll come back in a couple of weeks, sometime before that trip. And you might get a double feature, because I might also film. Okay, here's the dealio, Schmelio. Here's my master plan, and then I'll let you go. I'll try to do it in 3 minutes, because then I'll be an hour. So I would like to film one more, like, real Flosstube in August. I would also like to film the epic palooza of a whip parade, because I have so many projects. It's my Flosstube anniversary in August, in a couple weeks, in a week and a half-ish. And so at some point in August, I would like to celebrate that with a whip parade, and we might have some things that could go out in the mail, if you know what I mean. And then at the end of the month, I would like to do we might be invaded. I would like to do a nice big quilting bee. So I've got 3 videos planned for August. We'll squish them in there somewhere. Okay? Okay. Good plan. Take care of yourselves, my friends. Happy stitching.